Overthinking? I think we need more thinking.
We've waited all season for today, the first game of preseason. We are back, baby. What happened? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. Let's get it.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we'll put ourselves in a good situation.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler here for another take of Nuggets basketball. We are back, baby. We are back with preseason game 1 today. Nuggets versus Timberwolves. Unfortunately, it had to be the Timberwolves. And just oddly enough, too, the Avalanche are still in their preseason games right now. And for some reason, NHL and NBA just had to put our arch rivals playing on the same day. So the Avalanche were playing the Dallas Stars while the Nuggets were playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you don't watch much hockey, the Dallas Stars are literally the Minnesota Timberwolves version for the Avs. And both teams lost. That's right. Avalanche lost 2-3 to the Stars, those damn Stars. And the Nuggets put on a sloppy show, but a very heartfelt show today. And they actually, they were all over the map. We're going to get into it, but it's just really feeling good to have the Nuggets back. And a little special note, too, is that today, October 4th, is the anniversary of my sister's death. And it's a very difficult day for me to get through. So to have the Nuggets playing on today and distracting me, really, I appreciate that. I really enjoyed just watching the game, whether we were losing or we were up or whatever, which we never were actually up. We were up in like the first second of play, and then they took the ball and ran with it. But the Nuggets did fall to the Timberwolves 126 to 116, and I'm confused by this stat or this score because the app says 126 to 116. The Nuggets even posted about it being 126 to 116, but the announcers, Chris Marlowe, said 125 to 116, and then Adam also posted on his account, Adam from DMDR posted on his X account 125 to 116. So was it 125 to 116 or is it 126 to, I mean, I know it's just 1 point, but it is a difference between getting blown out versus single digits. And the great thing is that the Nuggets did have multiple times where they were down by close to 20 points, and each time they battled themselves back. So that was a good thing. So what happened? As I said, the first game back, the team was full health. However, Ant, Minnesota, did not play. They were resting him. They were resting him and Mike Conley. I believe there was one other player that they were resting. They rested 3 players, and the Nuggets were full health. So the starters were in with pretty much the Minnesota Timberwolves second string lineup. And typical, like, kind of Nuggets fashion of them just kind of acknowledging it's a preseason game rather than playing like it's a regular season pregame. They should have been playing harder than they were. They definitely felt a little bit flat at times. And maybe it was just a lot of jitters playing together, playing finally on, the first game. But it just kind of seemed like Minnesota had it more put together than the Nuggets did. Again, this is preseason. You make mistakes so that you can correct them when it really matters, since it doesn't really technically matter in preseason. But, it is also, we're back for season 2 here. Season 1 of this podcast was just a year ago when we were in this with the Nuggets versus the Celtics in Abu Dhabi. And they lost game 1 then too. It's kind of, hopefully it's not the same rehashing of things this year. But the Nuggets were playing in their white jerseys, those dreaded white jerseys. I was hoping that they would burn them and never play with them again. And yet here we are. They're back with the white jerseys. T-Wolves were in their dark blue jerseys. And the starting lineup for the Nuggets were Jamal, Jokic, Cam Johnson, CB, and Aaron Gordon. The first quarter started off, and Jokic did his little typical kind of like joking tip jump, and then just decided to let Gobert get the tip. Like, he literally didn't even jump. He did the fake jump, missed it, and then just sat there or stood there and let Gobert actually jump and get the tip. And the tip actually went close to Murray, who tried to get it, but then I think it was Shannon Jr. or whatever of the Minnesota Timberwolves collected it, and so T-Wolves got the tip officially, and they missed their first attempt at a bucket. So the Jokic actually gets the rebound and then long passes it to CB, who goes up for a missed dunk and gets fouled, goes to the line, makes 1 of 2. So we actually got the first point of the game of the first quarter. It was just 1, and that was the only time we led, because immediately after that, it wasn't even for like a good 10 seconds. It was like we scored that 1 point, missed the second, and then they got the rebound, headed over. Devo gets, Naz Reid sinks a 3 to get Minnesota up by 2. And that was it. Like, they just kept on continuing to build upon their lead. So immediately after that, after the Nuggets lost the possession again, Naz Reid sinks another 3. Jokic takes an aggressive shove by Gobert, who I guess thought he got hit by Jokic's elbow or something, and almost kind of does the same kind of shove. If you remember when Markieff Morris got taken out by Jokic after shoving Jokic, and then Jokic did that kind of like shoulder into the back thing. Gobert did that to Jokic today, and Jokic didn't come out. I think Jokic's, he went through some kind of anger management or whatever, because he just seems happier, and he just kind of laughed it off and like dapped him up. It was kind of interesting. There was it seemed almost like Gobert wanted to fight, but Jokic didn't, and so he just kind of called it quit. But he did go to the line and makes both free throws. Devo then sinks a 3 to continue the onslaught that Minnesota has going on with these beyond the arc 3s. Finally, Murray sinks a 2 for the first legit bucket of the game for the Nuggets. And then Jokic had a very slick dime to Cam Johnson for who gets a layup. That was a really awesome highlight there. But Nuggets get into the bonus early. Because they actually started to play. They started off playing slightly more aggressive. Jamal, his defense looked super aggressive at the start, and then it just kind of started to trail off. So that actually allowed them to get into the bonus early, and yet they weren't able to really take advantage of those bonus points, because they would miss a lot of free throws. The only ones who really were doing well with free throws was Jokic, Jamal, and AG. So they get into the bonus, and then they're down by 8. Nuggets turn the ball over on a bad pass from AG to Jamal. Like, it went way over Jamal's head, right into the stands. Don't know what was going on, as Minnesota takes a timeout. And then McDaniels hits a 3 out of the timeout to get the lead up to 11. AG passes to Murray, gets fouled by McDaniels, but gets the and one. Makes the bucket, and then on the other side, Murray gets caught doing the same thing that he just got fouled for with Bones Highland, who gets the bucket, but then misses the free throw. So he didn't turn over, or he didn't complete the 3-point play, but he did go to the line. And then Cam had an awesome block, as he stuffs Gobert, causing a turnover. That was a great play. First bench guys check in late in the first, and it's PWat and Tim Hardaway Jr., who immediately loses the ball and gets a turnover and a foul, and he gets called for a foul. Jokic gets fouled and goes to the line as Brucey B checks in for the first time coming back as a Nugget, which was awesome. And Big Val was trying to get checked in, but since it was Jokic getting fouled, he can't really, go out. He has to go to the line. So, and then there was never a time to actually check Big Val back in for the first time. And so they actually have to wait to the second quarter for him to get checked in. So, after Jokic nails both buckets, Bones continues killing the Nuggets. Like, he had a vendetta against the Nuggets tonight, like none other. Like, I know he must seem a little bit bitter towards the Nuggets. He didn't seem to kill us that much when he was a Clipper. For some reason, it just kind of, I guess maybe being on Minnesota's side, it's like reinvigorates him or something. I don't know, but he was killing the Nuggets, steals and buckets nonstop. However, Brucey B nails a 3, which ends up being ruled as a long 2, but that was awesome. And then unfortunately, T-Wolves win the first 40-28. So already we can see that the Nuggets defense is still an issue, allowing 40 points in the first quarter. Second quarter, Big Val draws a foul and then makes a bucket, which was an awesome play. Nuggets challenge a foul call and lose the challenge plus a timeout on a charge that Tim Hardaway Jr. took. And you could totally tell that I think it was their other backup center that the Minnesota was having. It's some French guy, Behringer or something like that. He slides his foot as he's charging the basket, and Tim Hardaway Jr. goes in for the charge, but I guess he continues moving just a little bit more, and so that's enough to rule or to maintain that ruling and not turn it over, because the fact that the Timberwolves player slides his foot, you would think that he also rules it out, but they go with the Timberwolves on that one and continue on. The Nuggets lose their challenge and a timeout. Big Val is the biggest dominant player Nugs have in the second string. Shannon Jr. nails a 3 to get the Minnesota up first to 50. And then a horrible defensive sequence for the Nuggets as they were able to get the ball on these rebounds, giving Minnesota multiple chances for a bucket. Luckily, they weren't able to make any of them, but it was a really embarrassing little segment there of not able to maintain the ball. They got it, but then it looked like they had butterfingers, and so then they lost it, and then they batted it out. It was you could put that chicken song over it and it would be perfect. The like totally just do that over that sequence, because that was what it felt like. And I know we're in preseason here, but that was really kind of embarrassing. So then Jokic checks back in at the 6:50 mark of the second quarter, and AG nails the Nuggets' first 3 of the game. We had to wait until like midway through the second quarter for them to finally get off, make a 3, I should say, because they attempted many others and they never went in. Finally, AG gets one to go in, and Ingles responds with a 3 of his own to continue the story of the Nuggets' poor perimeter containment. Like, it was just horrible. I felt like replaying the last season of not containing that perimeter and the defending the arc, just continuing. They just got whatever 3 they wanted for a good first half there and a little bit of the third quarter. So CB hits a 3 for the second Nuggets 3 shortly after that. And the Nuggets make a run to get the lead down to 9 from a lob by Murray to CB, who volleyballs the ball into the hoop. It was pretty fun to see. Nuggets get past the 50 from Jokic going to the line. And then starters start to build a groove in the second quarter, but still a little out of sync. There was still a lot of sloppiness that they weren't able to clean up. And the thing I think that for me disappoints me is that we got all of this excitement from training camp, all of this stuff from on paper season, and now we're finally seeing it, and it was nothing what we were expecting from the on paper season and from the training camp, because training camp made it sound like they were going to be a beast in the first game. We didn't get that. We did not get that. And Minnesota definitely was just quietly being like, yeah, talk your talk, and we're going to come in and beat you guys anyways. Like, I hate Minnesota so much. I hate them. Ugh. So AG builds momentum also, getting back buckets, which was great to see AG really balling out. And however, there was also the underlying story of not equal officiating. The refs started to really show their biasness in favor of Minnesota as the lead goes up to 12. They were calling the Nuggets for fouls that they weren't, that the Nuggets were receiving on the other end, and like the Timberwolves were able to get away with stuff that the Nuggets weren't able to. It's just that, that typical kind of like biasness from refs, and it really kind of feels like the refs have it out for the Nuggets. It's just like every season, doesn't matter what season it is, the refs are rarely on the Nuggets side. And that, like, I've been watching the Nuggets for a long time, and I have not seen a season where they have really been in our favor. It is always on the other favor, and maybe it's something that we're doing wrong, that we're not getting them to really focus more on us getting fouled and everything. And I know they try, but it's kind of getting frustrating seeing these refs just really not look at how the Nuggets are getting fouled, and only look at the way that we are fouling. Murray then responds, though, immediately after this with a three of his own. And the Nuggets win the second, 35-32. So when you lose the first quarter, 40-28, winning the second quarter, 35-32, isn't going to really help you much. T-Wolves still on top going into the half, 72-63. Third quarter starts, and the second unit starts off the third quarter. So the starters don't even play the second half. They're already in street clothes by this time. As the Nuggets inbound the ball, they miss a shot, and Minnesota gets the rebound. On the other side, collapses the Nuggets defense, gets the first bucket of the quarter, followed by a turnover from a bad pass from Valanciunas to Strother. And then Brucey B loses his switch, but Big Val luckily is there for a block. And it's really a great thing from Valanciunas, who showed up, because then on the next play, he blocks another shot. So it was back-to-back blocks from Valanciunas. He actually had himself a good pair of minutes. The only thing that really sucked with Big Val was that he almost fouled out. He got 5 fouls in this game. So they had to pull him out before we could actually use more of him. But he did a great job on the defensive end, and especially also with the scoring too. Like, until he got pulled out, he was the leading bench player with scoring points as well. Brucey B then gets a steal and outlets it to PWat, who gets blocked, but sticks with the play to get the bucket. It was a great heart that he was showing there. Brucey B then gets another steal, outlets it again to PWat for a layup. A great back-to-back sequence there. Nuggets then fall apart towards the end of the third with several consecutive turnovers, allowing T-Wolves to lead to go back up to 12. They got it down to 5. The lead down to 5. I think it was to 4. And then they just stopped playing, and T-Wolves got it back to 12. Nuggets checked in their third string players, including Zeke and Hunter, who didn't seem to show much improvement. Strother also not looking much improved. T-Wolves go on another run, building the lead up to 19. Finally, Hunter drills a 3 to stop the run. And then T-Wolves win the third, 24-17. So you already lost by 12 points in the first quarter. You barely won the second quarter, and now you lost by 7 points, 7 points in the third quarter. Not going well for the Nuggets. Fourth quarter starts, and Juzang of the Minnesota Timberwolves gets the first bucket of the quarter with a 3. It had to be a 3. And that just kind of continues the story of the Nuggets perimeter defense not locking in and allowing them to get the easy 3 buckets to get the lead back up to 19, but Hunter responds with a 3 to get it back to 16, and then Minnesota gets the first bucket to 100. Spencer Jones checks in, and he shows some aggressiveness, and I wish that he would have played a lot more minutes because he was definitely out there doing good things defensively for the Nuggets. He locked up Timberwolves player, I think it was either Shannon or Bones, and got the jump ball, and then actually they won the tip, Pickett with the bucket immediately afterwards. Then followed by another 4-3 for a 7-0 run. It was an awesome play. And Deron Holmes checks in for his first Nuggets preseason game. This was huge. I'm so glad to see DH2 finally on the floor for the Nuggets. Not in summer league. We are finally in actual preseason watching Deron Holmes play. And man, he really moves like Michael Porter Jr. When you watch him, like when he's walking and everything, and the way he moves his head and the way he hunches his shoulders and everything, he looks like Michael Porter Jr. walking. But he had a little bit of a defense lapse in defense, but then he actually at times did start to play a little bit better. He got his first bucket going to the line for 2, and actually makes both free throws. And then followed that up immediately with a 3 for his first official bucket as a Nugget in preseason. So let's go, Deron Holmes. Tamar Bates checks in and fouls Freeman at the arc, getting him to the line for a 4-point play. I was really hoping that the Nuggets learned a lot from last season, and one of the things they would have learned from last season is don't foul jump shooters. And the one person who had to do this was my man, Tamar Bates. Come on, Scoop. What are you doing, man? Why did you... whatever. I'm over it. The bigger thing, too, is that then we get Moses Brown checking in, newly signed two-way player for the Nuggets, who I honestly think now that they should sign on. He should be a Nugget, not just a two-way player. He should be a full-on Nugget, and he should be the third backup center. He should be Big Val's backup center because he was awesome, showing hope with multiple buckets, one awesome dunk, a little bit of a volleyball tip. Like he was, and then also boxing out, grabbing the rebounds on the defensive end. He was exactly what we needed, and he allowed the Nuggets to battle back from a 19-point deficit down to 10. Nuggets, and actually before that, Pickett also helped get us back because he nailed a shot clock buzzer beater for 3 to get us to 100, and then a second buzzer beater 3 by Pickett. Like immediately afterwards, like Pickett was on fire. He was a sniper tonight. However, all these good things that the third string was doing wasn't enough because the Nuggets, even though they win the fourth quarter, they actually won the best that they did in any of the four quarters with 36-30. So they at least won by 6, but still not enough because the Timberwolves win again, 126-116, getting blown out by 10. So the big takeaways I got from this game, watching it, was that the defense is not nearly as good as we were hoping that it would be with the changes. So far, the defense was kind of more lateral. I hope that this increases within the preseason, and then when we get into the regular season, we see a dramatic change, a dramatic switch. I would love to see that switch at least by Christmas when we face the Timberwolves again. I don't want to be dealing with the lapse in defense all the time and it collapsing. They've got to get back. Don't just stick around and ball watch. Though there was less ball watching, but not enough action at times. So defense still has a lot of work to do. Not looking great. At first, Murray came off really aggressive, but then subsided over time. And then my other thing I was noticing was Big Val looks amazing. And I am very excited for him playing throughout the season. I'm so happy he's a Nugget now. Like, I am all in on Big Val. Let's go. Like, the non-Jokic minutes feel not as horrible anymore. They actually feel obtainable to maintain the lead or to grow a lead. We actually started to chip down that lead. The bench players in the third quarter were the ones who got the lead down to 5. It wasn't the starters. It was the bench players after the half. Like, that says something. And it was the bench players with Big Val. So that's a big thing that I really am looking for now in these games moving forward is, can the bench get chip down the deficit or gain a lead, maintain a lead? Like, that's what I'm looking for. And with Big Val after this, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable with that in there. So now the other thing I was going to say too is that PWat showed up tonight. He actually made a dunk. If you remember last season, he's very common to miss these dunks where he winds up with one hand, right? He does this and then goes and then misses it. Every single time. He doesn't do it with two hands. But this time, he did the exact same thing with one hand. And, oh, man, I was so nervous when he did it. But he made it. He made it. That is improvement, everyone. That is improvement. That is huge. So glad that he is showing up. And he actually showed a huge improvement tonight. Like, if he continues on this, I think that he could have a chance of being possible most improved player award at the end of the season. Like, keep it up, PWat. That was awesome. I was so glad to see that. However, my other point now to combat that is that Strother still doesn't look like he improved. He looked pretty much the same as from last season. He talked a lot about changing his game, being more aggressive. We've heard that he's been in the lab working very hard and everything, but it didn't show tonight. There was no difference from tonight's Julian Strother versus last season's Julian Strother. And I was really hoping that the first game of preseason, we would see a different Julian Strother. Did not see that tonight. At least I didn't. Maybe you did, but like defensively, I didn't see it. He was missing in passes from Big Val. He missed two big passes from Big Val. There was one that he wasn't even looking at Big Val after Minnesota made a bucket. And so he was inbounding the ball and even missed it. Like, and it was directly towards him. So it wasn't like over Julian Strother's head or anything. It was at him and he misses it. He just didn't even look. And by the time he looked, it was too late and then it goes out of bounds. It was really bad. Actually, Minnesota didn't make a bucket. Now that I remember it, they didn't make a bucket. Big Val actually blocked it. It was a great play, and then Julian ruined it by not sticking with the ball and watching for any kind of passes from Big Val. Like, where is Big Val going to go? He was the only one down at the baseline. Why are you not looking at him? You are the point guard right now. So Strother needs to improve. He really needs to improve in his preseason, and you are supposed to make some mistakes so that you can find out what you did wrong and correct them for the next game and be ready for a regular season. But that was not a good game for Julian Strother at all. Moses Brown showed up, and again, I'm going to say this again, he deserves to be the third string center. He was awesome. He also created the question for me of, why the hell are we playing Zeke Naji at the 5 when we have Moses Brown? Moses Brown is taller, he's bigger, and he got the rebounds. He got the dunks. Like, he was exactly what the kind of big man backup that we needed when we don't have Yoke or Big Val in there. Like, oh man. And the fact that now we have 3 Browns on our team is amazing. So definitely the Brown Law Firm. Yeah, definitely the Brown Law Firm. Trying to figure out, remember what DNVR said. Definitely the Brown Law Firm for sure. But he did a great job. So, and he didn't play a lot of minutes. He only played in the fourth quarter, but what he played, I saw so much in that like he made me a fan. Like, let's go. Give him some more minutes, sign him up for a contract, get him on the Nuggets, and let's go. Let's go. we are going to get deeper. Now it's the time for just seeing where we need to trim some fat. So overall, it sucked the win, but it was great to see Nuggets back. That's my big takeaway. My biggest takeaway is that it's just great to have the Nuggets back and playing. And yeah, they lost, but they gave us some good minutes here. So real quick stats. Haven't done stats here. Usually do for these games, and it's been a while, So just to remember here. So we got Cam Johnson played 14 minutes, 37 seconds, had 2 points, just 2 points, but he did have a great layup from an inbound or from a awesome dime from Jokic. So that's the bucket that you see there, 2 points. 1 assist. He had 1 block against a Gobert, amazing block. He was 1 for 3 in field goal percentage or field goals, 0 for 2 in 3 points. He had 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, was a -5. Aaron Gordon played 15 minutes tonight, and in his 15 minutes, he had 14 points, which lets me see also Aaron Gordon is the second best player on the Nuggets. I think we saw that tonight. Like, as much as I am 100% behind Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon has been showing so much improvement. He carried us through the playoffs last season, and he is on fire. He looked like the second best player tonight for sure. We'll see in the next game, but after one game, I would say Aaron Gordon looks like the second best player. He had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 for 4 in field goals, so did not miss a single field goal. What I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Did not miss a shot. He made the only 3. He only shot 1 3. So he's 100% on threes, 1 for 1. The only thing he missed was 1 free throw. So he was 5 for 6 in free throws, but still pretty good. 1 turnover, 0 personal fouls was a -4. Should be a little bit more up there, but still 14, 3 and 1. Awesome for little 15-minute stand for Aaron Gordon. Then Jokic was in for 18 minutes, had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 for 5 in field goals. He didn't even attempt a 3. He made all of his free throws, 6 for 6. He had 1 turnover, 0 personal fouls, was a -6. CB played 15 minutes tonight, had 17 points, 3 rebounds. He had 2 for 2 field goals, so didn't miss a shot there either. 1 for 1 in 3 points. 2 for 4 in free throws. That was the big thing for him. He missed a couple of free throws that he should have made. He had 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, was a -9. Blue Arrow, Jamal Murray had played for 16 minutes, had 12 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 1 block. He was 3 for 6 in field goals, 1 for 3 in 3 points, 5 for 5 in free throws. So also not missing a single free throw. Awesome for that. 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a 0. He was the highest ranked, or no, sorry, he wasn't. There's a bench player that was higher on the plus minus here. We'll get to him. Peyton Watson played 17 minutes tonight, had 10 points off the bench, 4 rebounds. He was 5 for 5 from field goal, so he also did not miss a shot. So amazing improvement by PWat. He didn't attempt a 3, didn't go to the foul line. He didn't have any turnovers or personal fouls, and yet was a -10. That to me almost already shows that he should be more of a 0. Peyton Watson had a great game tonight. I was very up on Peyton Watson. Tim Hardaway Jr. played 14 minutes, had 3 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was 0 for 3 in field goals, 0 for 2 in 3 points, but he made 3 free throws and missed 1, so 3 for 4 on free throws. 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls, was a -1. Brucey Brown, Brucey B, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 for 3 in field goals, 0 attempts at threes because they ruled that 2 should have been a 3, but whatever. And then 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, was a -12. Julian Strawther played 17 minutes tonight, had 7 points. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? He played. Obviously Jokic still played the most amount of minutes of any of the Nuggets, but Julian Strawther was the second most played Nugget and only made 7 points. Not looking good for Julian Strawther. I was not happy with his game tonight. I was really I was disappointed. I was hoping that he would show up more, but he had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 for 6 from field goals, 1 for 1 from 3, 0 for 1 in free throws, 1 turnover, 0 personal fouls, was a -9. Only a -9. Really crazy this plus minus works and everything. But then Big Val, 13 minutes, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Should have been 2 blocks. He definitely had 2 blocks. I don't know why they gave him only 1, but he had 1, was credited for 1 block, I guess. But 2. We're going to say 2 because he had 2. 3 for 5 in field goals, and then didn't attempt a 3, didn't go to the line. He had 4 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, was a -6. Spencer Jones played 10 minutes tonight, had 1 rebound, 2 steals, didn't make any points, but he didn't have any turnovers. He did have 2 personal fouls, and he was a +2. Not the highest Nugget on the plus minus yet. So we had Jamal Murray at 0. Now he's at 2. Jalen Pickett, 14 minutes tonight, 13 points. That's almost a minute. That's almost a point a minute. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 5 for 9 from field goals and 3 for 4 in 3 points. So 75%. 3 out of 4 was 75%. That is awesome. And the shots that he got up, the second one was crazy. I mean, no, both of them were crazy because they were both like fadeaway shots that were kind of going out of bounds, and one that he kind of like turned over and just kind of like, it was like a total like Jokic kind of or Murray shot. It was really awesome and crazy to see. Something that you would put on a highlight reel, Adam Silver. But 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls. He was a -7. Our best scorers were in the minus. That's just crazy. Zeke Naji played 11 minutes tonight, close to 12. 4 points. One of them was a dunk, which was awesome, a driving dunk. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. 2 for 6 from field goals, 0 for 2 in threes. He didn't go to the foul line. He didn't have any turnovers or personal fouls. He was a -1. Hunter Tyson played 15 minutes tonight, had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. He was 3 for 5 in field goals, 3 for 5 in 3 points. And then he had 1 turnover, 0 personal fouls, and he was a +4. Still not the highest Nugget in the plus minus yet. We're getting there. Curtis Jones played 12 minutes. Didn't make a single bucket, though he tried. He very much tried. 1 rebound, 4 assists. He had 0 for 5 from field goals, 0 for 4 in 3 points, 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls. He was a +6. He was the highest Nugget in the plus minus section. I sometimes, y'all, this plus minus doesn't make sense at all. Like, I don't know how someone who didn't make a single point, missed all of his buckets, still ends up the highest plus minus. Deron Holmes, second, played 8 minutes, made 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 for 2 in field goals, 1 for 2 in threes, 2 for 2 in free throws, 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls. He was a +2. And then Moses Brown, 4 minutes, only 4 minutes, made 8 points. He made more points in the 4 minutes that he was on the court than Julian Strawther did in the 17 that Julian Strawther was on the court. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 5 in field goals. He didn't do any 3-point shooting, didn't go to the foul line. He didn't have a single turnover, not a single personal foul. He was a +3. Like, I'm telling you, Moses Brown got my attention. Let's go, Moses Brown. Play him more, please. And then my man, Tamar Bates, Scoop, as they like to call him, didn't make a single shot. Attempted 2 shots. He did get 1 steal. He had 0 for 1 in field goals, 0 for 1 in 3. No turnovers, 1 personal foul. That was the jump shooter foul there. And he was a +3. And then Kessler Edwards didn't play at all. He is he is supposed to be the big defenseman that we got, and he didn't play at all. Maybe that's why our defense was bad. I don't know. Overall team stats, we had 37 rebounds to their 41. We had 27 assists to their 32. We had 9 steals to their 7, 4 blocks to their 3. We shot 54% from field. They shot 51%. We shot 39% from 3. They shot 50%. Come on, Nuggets. Contain the perimeter. Please, for the love of God, contain the perimeter. We shot 82% from free throws. They shot 80%, so we did do better there. We had 15 turnovers. They had 11. And then we had 22 personal fouls. They had 24. Though it didn't feel like they had more than us. They definitely felt like we had more than them. It seemed like the whistle was always going in their advantage, but there you have it. So Nuggets take a loss in the first game. They're now 0-1, but it's preseason. They're learning stuff, so hopefully the next one will be better. The next one is in Vancouver, not Toronto. We are facing the Raptors, but we're not going to that side of Canada. We're staying on the west side of Canada in the BC, if you will, which I'm just going to say right now, I love Vancouver. If you've never been to Vancouver, go to Vancouver. It is amazing. I absolutely loved it. Especially if you're from Colorado, you will love it so much. It was such a joy being there. I wish I was going right now to see them play. And they're probably going to be playing in the old Vancouver Grizzlies arena. Like, if you don't remember, the Grizzlies originated from Vancouver back in the 90s. And so they're going to be playing in Vancouver against the Raptors on Monday. So tomorrow's a travel day. They're going to get there, and then it's some Canada thing or whatever. I forget what they call it, but Canada Inn or Challenge or whatever. So they're facing the Raptors there, and then we wait until next Sunday to face the Clippers, which is another away game. So the next game is an away game, then another away game, and then we're in Ball Arena for the first time back playing against the Chicago Bulls. And then we face the Oklahoma City Thunder for our last game of preseason. Hopefully we win that game. Can we win at least one or a couple? Actually, no, I want us to win the next games. Like, don't lose. No more losing in preseason. Let's go 4-1, please. Nuggets, please go 4-1. We can't lose to the Raptors, the stinking Raptors. I am so bitter against them right now from Summer League. They were so dirty. And then the Clippers, you gotta show up against the Clippers, man. Which I'm gonna have a special guest, I think, on either before or during or post game for that. And then the Bulls, I mean, as a Bulls fan myself, like, them and the Knicks are the only two teams that I'm okay if we lose. I'm like, okay, that sucks, but it's the Bulls and the Knicks. I'm fine with it. But I still want them to win because getting swept with them last year is unacceptable. And then we have OKC, which we have to win against OKC. So, and then after that, it's almost a week. It's like 6 days after that is our first regular season game in Golden State against the Warriors. So lots of basketball shaping up here. We get a little bit of a break. Enjoy the break while it lasts, because once that regular season hits, man, it is go, go, go. We have so many games lined up for us. If you're missing Nuggets basketball, you are going to be full of Nuggets basketball here coming once October 23rd hits. It is go, go, go time. So that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so glad to be back watching Nuggets games. I hope you are too. If you like what I do, please, I would appreciate any kind of donations. I got the PayPal link there down below. Please, it'll help allow me to watch these games, to give my feedback and entertain you for a little bit of time. And please share this to your friends and family, like and subscribe. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about Nuggets, good vibes. We'll catch you later.